But one that's come up over and over again is that if you never tell a lie, you never have to remember what you said. And that was just something that my dad always told me that has come back and been, you know, there was a time I didn't tell a lie, you know, and then it comes up later and it's like, oh shit. And then I go back to dad and say, well, if I didn't tell a lie, I wouldn't have to remember what I said. So, and the next one is this poem by Shane. I forget his last name. I meant to check it before I came. But if you like YouTube, Remember the Time We Forgot by Shane something. It'll come up and you'll find it, I promise. So, but also on the topic of remembering. Remember how we forgot? Remember how no one ever really died in the wars we fought? 'Cause each gunshot came from our fingertips, and we never kept it loaded just in case. 'Cause each enemy was a friend, and none of it was about oil, religion, or land. It was all just pretend. Remember how we used to bend reality like we were circus strongmen? Like our imaginations were in shape then. Like we were all ninjas trained in the deadly art of did not. Like I totally got you. Did not. Remember how we forgot? Remember how we all caught mono? And our folks would go, ooh, the kissing disease. And our first steps into gangsterhood had us saying, mother please. Even though we had never really kissed anyone. Even though we had never done half the things we'd said we'd done. We just spun yarn like Rumpelstiltskin spun gold. Telling ghost stories, not realizing that one day ourselves would too become ghosts. Haunting the hallways of schools, poltergeists breaking all the rules of silence in the library. But we had no chains to rattle then. No voice to battle the fact that we had no vocal cords. We had only fingernails on chalkboards. And they would scream, shout, and yell and try and tell ourselves that what experience can teach is what no teacher taught. Remember how we forgot? Once upon a time, we were young. Our dreams held like apples waiting to be picked and peeled, and hope was something that needed to be reeled in to feel the always empty big fish bin of the one that got away and proudly say that this time, impossible is not an option. Because in the war against frailty and limitation, we supplied the determination to make ideas and goals the parents of possibility. So we took chances. We figure skated on thin ice, believed that each slice of life was served with something sweet on the side, and failure was never nearly as important as the fact that we tried. We believe ourselves to be members of this family, not just one branch on one tree, but a forest whose roots make up a dynasty. So when I call you sister or bro, it's not lightly. And when I ask you to remember, it's because the future isn't what it used to be. So remember now. Pay tribute to every sacrifice laid upon the altar of somehow. Somehow we overcame. Somehow we pushed on. Somehow we've gone the distance, and in going there we possess the freedom to map the uncharted lands of any time and anywhere. Yes, we are unbound. 6 feet above the underground, we will all someday rest. So until then, test the limits. Test the boundaries and borders. Like the headquarters of potential lay just beyond the world's edge. Let the belief that hope belongs to us all be the pledge that you take to make the unachievable as inconceivable as the false fact that we were never here. We were here. And our memories are as dear to us as every slow motion moment or held breath. So remember every instant before death, every first kiss, near miss, first dance, last chance. Yes, let us go the distance once more. Let us remember all the moments that were and were not. Like the point is something we can get, and what we can get is what we got, because all we have is the time between the moments that connect each dot. So live and remember. Burn like an ember, capable of starting fires, like each moment inspires the next. like the memories of the context we put ourselves in, so that life becomes the next of kin. We have to notify in case of a big bang or extinction level event, let now be our advent. Let us live like we mean it. Let us burn like we meant it. Because this world doesn't give a shit if your life ends in a train wreck or a car crash, if your story ends with a dot or a dash, if you were dust or ash. Because all we were is all we'll be, and all we are is the in-between of so far, so good. So forget every would, could, or should not. Forget remembering how we forgot. Live like a plot to exist now and in a memory, because we burn bright. Our light leaves scars on the sun. Let no one say that we will be undone by time's passing. The memories that we are amassing stand as testament that somehow we bent minds around the concept that we see others within ourselves. That self-knowledge can't be found on a bookshelf, so who we are has no bearing on how we appear. Look directly into every mirror and realize that our reflection is every sentence to a story, and our story starts, we were here.
Madison White, ladies and gentlemen. And whatever you do, don't bother looking that up on YouTube. It doesn't get better than that. It just, who cares what that sounded like on YouTube? We were all here for just that. My God. My God.